1850 715 815.
Well, you talk about having the wind taken out of your sails by Seamus Heaney's death today. Yesterday, that figure of 243 people a day on average emigrating really sucker punched me. But Brendan, you feel that we really need to start changing the way that we're talking about emigration.
Yeah, hi Philip. Well, yeah, I mean, one thing I suppose that kind of semi-annoys me when these figures come out, the general reaction by most journalists and people in the media is to kind of lament it and say, isn't it terrible, it's horrible and everything. And it is horrible and a terrible thing for people who have to, families I think, with young children and pull them out of school and have to go immigrating. But for the vast majority of people that are leaving Ireland, myself included, it's younger people in their 20s with a sense of adventure, and they're going on to explore the world and take opportunities that they don't have in this country, and thankfully we're able to go to other countries and avail of those opportunities wherever it may be. I mean, obviously most Irish people now are going to Canada or Australia, but myself, a little bit wrong way as I like to be, I have ended up in Colombia.
Really? Where did you leave, first of all?
Where did I leave?
Yeah. What part of the country?
Well, Ireland. I mean, I did my university in NUI Galway, and then I went to Griffith College. I was a qualified journalist, broadcast journalist, actually, the same game as yourself.
And where did you call home, Brendan?
Home is Roscommon, Ballahadreen, just outside Ballahadreen.
Okay, so not a huge amount of broadcast journalism opportunities in Ballahadreen, one would have thought. So.
Well, no, I did work for a few years actually in broadcast journalism with a couple of regional radio stations. Then I went on a year's travelling, and that was my first time to encounter South America, and I fell in love with the continent. I did go to Australia after that as well, but I suppose when I go travelling, I like to see different things, and while Australia is a beautiful country as well, it's culturally it's quite similar, whereas obviously in South America you've got the language barrier, and there's a bit more of a challenge to it, I felt.
Well, I would have thought now there's a limited number of opportunities in broadcast journalism in Colombia for somebody who's going to be speaking Spanish with an Irish accent, no?
Exactly, yeah, but I mean, obviously I wasn't going out there to look for broadcast journalism or anything like that. The main job for most English-speaking expats there is teaching English, and it's pretty easy to get work out there teaching English. I mean, with my degree, a degree in history and politics, and then a HDip in media and journalism, it's kind of easy to get work. They love native English speakers.
Well, see, Brendan, look, I mean, I'm tempted to say that you're being very glass half full about this, but the facts of the matter are that you're not doing what you want to do in another country where you have been forced out of economic necessity to emigrate, no?
Yeah, well, I suppose I'm a little bit different maybe, Philip, because I was saying I left Ireland between 2008 and 2009 on my first year of travelling, and it was really just a year of travelling. It wasn't to work, it was backpacking. Then I came back. I did get a job in Belfast as a broadcaster with Ladbroke. So I was working in Belfast for about 20 months, and I left that job of my own accord. It wasn't that I was laid off or anything. I just wanted another challenge, and I had a desire to return to South America. And I knew I'd be leaving behind, maybe the career path for a while anyway, but I wanted to take on the challenge of going down there. Now, one thing and I'll give myself a plug here, I did start writing, and writing more so. I was always more into the broadcast journalism, but I have a blog now, and I keep that on the go, try and do a story every couple of weeks or so. Wrong Way Corrigan, by the way, Philip, you might give me a plug.
Wrongwaycorrigan.com.ie.
Well, it's www.corrigan.blogspot.com. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing, but anyway.
But Brendan, look, you've obviously got a dose of wanderlust, if you don't mind me putting it that way, and it suits you, and you're obviously enjoying yourself and you're getting a hell of a lot out of it. But emigration is also about the country having the guts sucked out of it. It's about its best and its brightest and its youngest being forced to go elsewhere, and it's about those poor parents and other family members and friends who are left behind and notice, much more keenly than you often your adventures, notice the great big empty hole in their life.
Well, that is true. And I mean, I came home for a family wedding there a couple of weeks ago, and that's why I'm home. And like the west, especially the west of Ireland. I imagine it's a little bit different when you're in the cities. It maybe seems a bit more of a vibrant side to it. But here now, once the excitement of the wedding has died down, it is very, very quiet. You know, I could name 20 people just from our little village of about, I don't know, 200 people or whatever, that are just in Perth in Australia. That's just one city in the world, you know. So a lot of the youth have gone, and it's a little bit depressing, to be honest, to be around here at times when it is very quiet. But for the people that go, like you said, yes, it is more of an adventure maybe for us. And, well, it is sad to say goodbye again. I mean, nowadays it's not like it was 50, 60 years ago when you might never be back when you left. It's easy to get back. I mean, even in Colombia, I could be back in Ireland in half a day, really, if I really needed to, in an emergency. In Australia, you know, you can be back in a day, really, as well. So I don't think it's the pain that it was maybe 60, 70 years ago when people did close that door, say goodbye to their parents, and probably never saw them again.
Except that, absolutely, that it's a very, very different phenomenon now, but still, for those that are left behind, it's no less a melancholic experience, and there's very little good cheer to be found in figures like 243 people, a very, very big jumbo jet plane load leaving every day. Yeah,
I mean, I suppose what does get at me though is this melancholic reaction over an overdose of it. I think sometimes a bit lamentable. I mean, we're not the only nation in the world that sees its people going around to different countries in order to find work. So I think sometimes we overemphasize the sadness of it rather than looking at, well, the opportunities that we have. I mean, there are other countries where people want to leave, but they can't leave. At least with an Irish passport, there's not too many countries where you can't go.
Absolutely. I suppose an Irish passport and English as your first language, it's a kind of a passport with knobs on, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, and yeah, just even said English is the first language, but even over a British and we'll say a North American passport, just having the Irish one often opens plenty more doors, or people become more at ease when they realise you're Irish
even in Colombia?
Say that again, sorry?
Even in Colombia?
Yeah, well, of course, you had the infamous Colombian 3, so a lot of people are aware of Ireland.
Those weren't Irish passports, though. They were fake Irish passports.
Well, that's right. But one question that you'll always get asked when you go into Colombia, especially at the airports, is Irlanda del Norte, Irlanda del Sur, north of Ireland or the south of Ireland. Because, of course, our passports don't distinguish if you're from the north or from the south. Now, I've always been tempted, Philip, to say I'm from the west of Ireland, so I'm from neither the north or the south, but I thought I won't say that to them. They mightn't understand that. But I wonder if I said I'm from the north, what they do. I always say I'm from the south, and they just stamp my passport, and on I go. But, yeah, there's a lot of awareness about Ireland in Colombia. Now, some people don't know, so you try and explain where it is, and then you say it's a little island near Britain, and they have half an idea. But a lot of people do, considering, you know, we are a small island with very few links to Colombia. They are aware of it.
Right, very good. All right, Brendan, thank you very much.